Hello, Christopher Slavens here. I'm a licensed clinical psychotherapist. Today I'd like to talk with you about ways that we can take care of our anger. Before discussing the techniques that I wanted to share with you about how to take care of our anger, I thought it might be a great idea for us to talk a little bit about why it's such an important idea to take care of our anger. So one of the first reasons that it's important to learn how to effectively manage our anger is that it increases our emotional and mental well-being. Additionally, it can also improve our physical health. Learning how to effectively take care of our anger also leads to improved relationships, as it reduces the potential for negative interactions that can be damaging to the core of a relationship. And lastly, learning how to take care of our anger leads to effective problem solving in many instances, as we can better manage our emotions and deal with negative side effects of our anger. In his book, Taming the Tiger Within, Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh shares an idea with us that I thought would be really beneficial to share with you today. Sometimes when we're thinking about how we feel when we get angry, it's a great idea, a great technique to think of ourselves like we would think of ourselves as a younger child, as we were. And imagine our anger manifesting as it would when we were a little kid. And imagine ourselves taking care of our anger like we would when we would want someone to take care of us when we were 6, when we were angry. Thinking about our anger and taking care of it involves accepting it. Many times I think in my private practice, I run into situations in which people don't want to experience their anger, so they try to block it out or pretend it doesn't exist. In this way, it actually makes it worse. Pretending our anger is like a young child gives us the opportunity to accept the emotion within us and embrace it and take care of it. If you have a stomach ache, you don't just say, I don't have a stomach ache, and ignore it and it goes away. And our anger should be treated and thought of in much the same way. Embracing our anger and accepting it, just like you would if you had a stomach ache, allows you to address it and take care of it. So let's talk about a couple techniques that you can use to actually address your anger more directly. First off, and I kind of mentioned this a little bit, is to actually recognize and acknowledge the emotion within you. Addressing it directly and not trying to fight it, but actually sit somewhere where you can be uninterrupted and allow yourself to feel your anger. Just that simple. Next, think about taking a pause. When the anger is welling up in you and you start to feel it, the physiological effects of your anger. Maybe the hair stands up on the back of your neck, or your palms get sweaty, or you feel tension in your shoulders. That's a great sign for us to recognize our anger, acknowledge it, and take a pause. Next, think about some of the ways in which you can practice relaxation techniques. One of the techniques I teach in my private practice is the process of mindfulness, breathing and consciously being aware of what it is that we're experiencing in our anger. Next, we can work on some of our communication techniques. Learning how to communicate assertively as opposed to aggressively gives us the ability to speak directly to our needs. Once we've accepted our anger and we take pause and we recognize what it is that's going on, we can think to ourselves, what is it that's actually making us angry? And if it involves another person, we can learn how to communicate assertively versus aggressively. Next, and this is one of the things I talked about in my earlier video on managing stress, is to engage in rigorous physical activity. I'm a big proponent and big fan of conducting physical activity that's very rigorous and helps us to release some of the pent-up emotions in us, anger being one of them. Another really effective technique is the use of humor. Sometimes we can laugh at ourselves, recognizing that we're getting angry because of our interpretation of a situation, and allowing ourselves to have a little bit of levity and pause and find something humorous about it. Something just that simple can sometimes take the edge off of our anger. Next, seeking support. Sometimes it's helpful to talk to others that are trusted, friends or family that you can confide in, that you can share what you're experiencing, and that will allow you to be heard and feel understood. And sometimes just that process allows to take the pressure off. The last two are two that I talk about a lot in my private practice. First one being practicing forgiveness. Forgiveness of ourselves, forgiveness of others, forgiveness of a situation that might be frustrating to us. Learning to actively let go and forgive can be a very powerful way to deal with your anger. The last technique is to actually ask for help. You know, in a day and age in which everybody has a personal computer via their telephone, you can easily look up in your iPhone, look for videos on techniques to let go of your anger. And another possible technique you could use in seeking help is to actually ask the help of a professional. Look up a psychotherapist that treats people in your area and reach out and ask them, hey, is this something that you can help me with? I really hope these tips were helpful to you. Be on the lookout for my next video, The Art of Listening. Till then, this is Christopher Slavens wishing you an awesome day.